The mouse, he left our house. No mouse today. He's run away. To ease the pain, he's down the drain. Welcome back to the show. My brother from the same mother. Bert, does this have a wizard, robot, or a fast car in it? Compton. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
I didn't give you some applause.
It's my three-peat.
Yeah. We are reviewing again Ladyhawke from 1985.
With an E at the end, Ladyhawke, right?
Yes. Yeah, Ladyhawke with an E. Also, the logo is sick. Like the title card of this movie.
Have talons or coming down like in the shape?
It's just like a very off-kilter, not symmetrical, like kind of brush-strokey Ladyhawke. It's very cool. Look it up.
Maybe it was done by Alan Parsons.
Maybe while he was high. It's very good. You should check it out. This is a longer trailer, but you'll thank me.
Broderick, a pickpocket who thought that anything was better than prison. Little did he know what he'd escaped from wasn't half as strange or frightening as what he'd stumbled into.
I do not believe what I believe, Lord. These are magical, unexplainable matters, and I beg you not to make me a part of them.
The knight who had saved him wanted only two things: to free his lover and to take his revenge.
I have waited almost 2 years for a sign from God.
Sir, the truth is I talk to God all the time. And no offense, but he never mentioned you.
The pickpocket was the key to his plan. But would you send a thief to guard your treasure? He was the last one in the world to act like a hero. It just happened.
It just happened.
By himself.
Do you love the narrator? It's so long.
Magical.
So slow.
Romantic. Adventure. Matthew Broderick. Michelle Pfeiffer. Rutger Hauer. Ladyhawke.
Rutger Hauer.
Rutger
Hauer. We know the correct pronunciation. Yep. And he's third billed in this film, which is insane to me. All right.
Here we are back again.
Let's just jump right into...
No delays.
Popcorn. Trivia.
Let me tell you something, pendejo.
That gets you every time. Me and my brother speak fluent Spanish, and that's a funny swear.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at a picture of you in a military with your big, huge mustache. So
yeah, it's a sick picture.
Funny. Yeah,
given to me by my buddy Shane.
Yeah, that looks good.
All right, I've got some great trivia. I handpicked these. Some of them are from an article from ScreenRant.com.
All right.
If you want to check it out. But one scene, Captain Navarre, Rutger Hauer, tells Philippe Gaston to ride his horse to Imperius Castle and slaps the horse's rear to make it ride. Mm-hmm. However, the first time the scene was filmed, Hauer slapped the horse a little too hard on purpose as a joke. And it took off over the hill and off into the horizon. The horse was too powerful for Broderick to stop, so all anyone could do was sit and wait for him to come back. It was a prank. They
hope you don't fall off and break something.
They had to send jeeps to go find him because he was just gone.
Bye.
See ya.
He found out that he made more money than he did on it.
I'm sure. Yeah, if he did, he's probably this sucker is younger than me and making almost $1 million on this.
It's only his third movie.
Jeez. Speaking of Hauer, has said that one of his proudest moments in this movie was being able to flip the dagger in his hand during the climactic fight scene without looking at it.
Oh.
And by the way, this is spoiler zone, okay? always part 2 of the show is spoiler zone. But
yeah, last chance. Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Yep. And then, because here it comes.
The freaking dagger throw is so satisfying. I don't know why. I don't really enjoy stabs, like in general in movies, but it's so, like, the tension is so high because you've been watching this for 45 minutes and we're finally to the climactic scene, and he does not want the bell to be rung, and he does this.
That's right.
Freaking flip move and throws right into
wall sword fighting with those big shiny swords.
Those swords are so crazy lame. Like no sword looks like that. It's so weird. It's like they were wrapped in tinfoil.
They were so shiny.
Super
shiny. They were like chrome dipped bumpers.
And they were like very thick.
They were broadswords.
But like weirdly thick. Not like Braveheart.
That's what she said.
All right. Speaking of, that's a bad segue. Michelle Pfeiffer sent in an audition tape for the part of Isabeau, despite reservations about the fantasy genre. She had been sent part of the script to read containing a scene between Isabeau and Gaston, later played by Matthew Broderick. Gaston? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Gaston. I just thought of Beauty and the Beast for some reason. That was weird.
You watch
thoughts.
A lot of shows with your age-appropriate children shows.
So later played by Matthew Broderick, Pfeiffer read the part and enlisted the aid of a friend of hers to read for Gaston, an unknown friend. The friend was still an unknown actor by the name of Kevin Costner.
Stop it.
That's right. Years before raking in Oscars for Dances with Wolves, Costner read on Pfeiffer's audition tape for Ladyhawke.
Interesting.
So his big break came in 1985, that same year, right after Ladyhawke's release on another film. But yeah, he helped her out, a friend.
Okay. He's older than her, right?
I don't know. Let's see.
All right. Doesn't matter.
How old is Kevin Costner? 68.
68.
I almost said 68 degrees. How old is Michelle Pfeiffer?
She's not 68.
65.
What?
The Pfeiffer is 65. So they were close in age at the time.
All
Maybe
right.
she knew him from acting class. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know how actors know each other.
He's still popping with his Yellowstone and all those things.
There's some weird goings on with him and Yellowstone right now, and I'm really kind of angry about it. So let's move on.
Okay, my bad.
Look that up.
Poke a wound there.
It's so there's so much drama in that drama outside of the drama. I don't understand, but
all right.
I'd really like to finish the series, and he's kind of making it hard for me. So thanks, Kevin.
Was that word pendejo?
Yes, he is. I mean, yes.
All right, and go.
All right. Last but not least, shortly after Hauer signed on to the picture, he was having a lunch meeting. You will not believe this. I did not believe this. I still might not believe this. He's having lunch with Richard Donner, the director, and a few others of the producers. They showed him some of the props he'd be using on set, including his hawking glove, which sounds cool to say, hawking glove.
Yes.
The costumers.
That's a
costumers.
word.
It sounds like I'm having a stroke saying customers.
No, they were
costumers.
Those who make costumes.
Yes, the costumers showed him how to put it on and how to raise it up so that a bird would actually land on it.
Right, because they're trained to do it in a certain way.
Correct. Again, they're at lunch, eating outside. Across the street, some trainers were preparing birds for their first day, and one of the hawks saw Hauer raise his arm, and they have this great eyesight from far away.
Yeah.
Much to everyone's surprise, the hawk flew across the street into the restaurant. Oh, they're not
eating outside.
They're in the restaurant and landed on Hauer's arm. According to one of the producers, everyone jumped with surprise except Hauer, who was cool as ice. He's like, yeah, I meant to do that, dude.
And that's how he and that one hawk became friends, and it turned into like a chicken, and
He's a hawk whisperer.
he's a hawk
Right from the get-go.
right from the get-go. Ladyhawke,
Ladyhawke. All right.
fly to me.
Prepare your beefs.
Prepare my beefs.
Where's the beef? Hey, where's the beef?
And by the way, this might embarrass you a little bit, but beef. Okay, let me just tell you, my brother, beefs are problems that you have with the film.
That's right.
Not farts.
That's right.
As children, we used to say beefs were farts.
That's right. If you broke the wind, it was a beef.
Okay.
Who beefed it?
This is not a beef. This is not that kind of beef.
No one's passing gas. I mean, maybe.
You could, and it possibly would happen. You'd have to get closer to the mic, but this is not that kind of beef.
This is frustrations.
Yes, beefs with the film. All
Okay.
right. I have one, and it's interlaced with some trivia. Producer and director Richard Donner originally wanted to cast Rutger Hauer as the captain of the guard. I mean, which he was, right? But not
Right.
in the film. The captain of the guard was the
Run chasing him.
weird hunchbacky looking guy.
Yeah, he walked odd.
He walked like he like had a little bit of scoliosis
Is
or
it
something.
because he got injured? Did he get injured in that first fight?
I don't know. He looked really stooped over.
Yeah.
But anyway, the captain of the guard, and guess what? Kurt Russell was Navarre originally. He was cast. Hauer wasn't interested in that role, but expressed interest in playing Navarre when Russell dropped out a few days before principal photography began. The part was handed to Hauer.
Why? Where was Kurt Russell going? Was it a different film? Had to have been.
That's a good.
I mean,
thing to
did he
look
make
up.
the right choice? Did he go to some big film in 1985?
Let's see what Kurt Russell was doing in '85. I mean, it'd have to be around that same time, right? Because films aren't always coming out at the exact same time.
84, 85.
Okay, so 82. I'll go back to 82. The Thing. It's probably not that.
No.
Silkwood, 83. Swing Shift, 84. The Mean Season, 85. 86, we got The Best of Times and Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, Big Trouble in Little China.
Such a good film. We've reviewed it on the show. You should go listen to that pod. But
I made my sons watch it with me very recently. They didn't appreciate it as much as I
Really?
did. They liked some of it a lot, and some of it they were like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't question, enjoy, flow."
It's a amalgam of crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's a mashup.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
was
I
just curious.
don't
Maybe there
think-
was some big that he went and made something awesome that year. So maybe not.
I don't
He
think
missed
that was a
out.
good choice.
He missed out.
I think it would have been cool.
Yeah.
I think Kurt Russell would have been awesome. He would have added a little bit of like swagger and humor maybe to it.
A little snarky undertones, and maybe that wouldn't have been right.
I don't know.
Because that would have maybe stepped on Matthew Broderick's snarkiness and kind of he had more of the humor lines. I don't think you could have both of them. It may not have worked as well.
Yeah.
Would have been more of a funny.
Yeah, it would have been a different tone. You're
would've been
right.
different.
Like maybe it would have been more like, which you wouldn't want is like a buddy
Yeah.
like relationship.
I think you would have had more chemistry between him and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's that.
that might have been that. Yeah, that would have been good. Any beefs with the film? Looking at it now,
Yeah, looking at because I haven't watched. We were talking about when was the last time I watched this, and it has been
literally like 20 years.
probably 20 years at least. Right around there. It's been a long time since I've seen it, and so it didn't disappoint. Some things don't hold up. The cinematography, as far as the locations that were shot, I thought were beautiful. There were some cool misty mountains and, some really neat shots like on location, and they were real places, right? So I really like that. I'm so easily entertained. I don't really have a lot of beefs with most things.
Yeah.
So I will agree that the music for me, I had forgotten. I had forgotten that it was Pink Floyd, that it had some techno, that it was a little bit different. I was expecting, some sweeping classical kind of swashbuckling music to come in, and then you hear a little techno. I'm like, wait, what?
Dun, 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 dun. It's
I was. It took that, put me on guard for a minute until I've settled in, and then I was fine.
Dude, this is really weird, and it's probably because you're in the room with me, but I had this soundtrack, and I would listen to it while I was throwing papers on my paper route.
Really?
And it was very motivating for me to get my papers done. It was just like, yes, I'm on my Goliath little like BMX bike throwing out newspapers. It was sick. That's probably why I'm so drawn to the soundtrack, because I listen to it all the time.
I would have had a Walkman, and it would have been like Beach Boys.
Yeah, dude. I was a weirdo, dude. I listened to like scores. I didn't go buy albums of like music. I was like, my first compact disc that I bought was the Dances with Wolves soundtrack, dude.
I would come home from college to listen to your music.
Yeah, I wasn't like hip to the scene. I was just listening to like scores.
You had awesome music. I do remember that. I listened to whatever mom and dad had when I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Until I found what kind of worked for me.
Well, I think we can let that beef rest.
Yep.
All right, let's get into puzzles and redemption.
A sphincter says what?
What?
A sphincter says what? What? Exactly.
I used that exact line at home not even a week ago with my teenage sons.
They don't know what it is.
Not even a hint of a
They
grin.
don't even know. They think you're just being weird.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
they're like, what?
It's not even a reference.
They don't even
think
say
you're just-
what. You're like, they don't even respond. And I was so deflated.
Yeah, and rightfully so. It's sad.
I needed to educate them. Okay, proceed.
So popcorn puzzles are things that you're like, what? And usually for me, it's when I'm doing the research about the film, when I'm reading something and I'm like, really?
Okay.
So here's three. Three of the castles used for this movie were owned by not just some Italian guy, because they were shooting in Italy.
All of them?
All three.
Okay.
But they were owned by movie director Luciano Visconti and his family.
Okay.
A director. And he owns three of these insane castles. That's insane to me.
Yeah. That's my mother country.
Yeah, you're a freaking Italian citizen.
I was born in Italy. That is true.
You have dual citizenship.
Not anymore.
Does it like expire?
When you have to, yeah.
You have to renew it?
No, because I was born in military. We can talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always tell people that you're just part Italian because you were born there. So
yeah, I was born in Italy, but
listen,
I still have two American. Our parents are the same parents. You would be Italian too.
Well, no, I meant like Italian because you were born
That's
there.
right.
I wasn't born in Italy.
Yes,
you were.
All my documentation, but your listeners do not care about that.
No,
I'm
they
sure.
don't. But,
we'll
hear me out for just 2 seconds.
Okay.
Please don't take that away from me.
I won't take it.
Don't give me some weird clerical paperwork thing. Just let me believe that you have dual citizenship.
I've got all that.
Okay, thank
all
you.
my documentation is in Italian.
All right, thank you. Speaking of Italy and the castles again, this one blew my mind. Ladyhawke was filmed primarily in Italy, like I just said. And I said primarily. I can't read very well.
It's getting late.
The filmmakers, having previously looked at England and the former Czechoslovakia as potential locations, Europe was the logical place to shoot the movie, given that it was where the story was set. and because it's set in France.
Yeah. I would have thought that last one was in France, like in the Loire Valley. I visited.
It feels like that.
I visited with one of the castles that looked very similar with that round staircase that goes up. There was a few. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, it does matter.
Felt very French.
Yeah. Well, so it has the landscapes and medieval buildings that the production needed. Even so, and this is what will blow your marbles, the crew ultimately had to build an all-new church specifically for the film. The thing that the church...
What? The end?
That's where it will blow my mind even more if it's the old church that the guy's in. The ruined priest.
On the hill.
Or if they're referencing the church that the bishop's in. Either way, they built one of those, and it took 2 months for them to build it.
That might have hurt their budget.
Like, whoa. Whichever one it is, it's still mind-boggling.
Yeah.
So
maybe
crazy.
they wouldn't have let some of the stuff happen in a real church, like stabbing and swinging and falling and impersonating priests that stab people and stuff like that. Maybe a church wouldn't have wanted that.
Yeah. The church was probably like, hey, we don't really want our bishop to be this creepy dude that's like wanting the ladies when he shouldn't.
Yeah, you can't rent our facility for this.
You can't shoot here. Sorry, guys.
You got to go build your own. I can see that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that.
It'll protect their reputation, maybe.
I actually had one other puzzle, but it was a repeat. It must have been that puzzling to me that Howard lost 20 pounds shooting. Yeah. That's a lot of weight, man.
Yeah. I think the puzzle for me still was why the Pink Floyd Alan Parsons was like, hey, do you want to do a film score for a medieval times film? And he's like,
no.
Yeah.
He's like, no. Well, he's like, yes, I want you to do it. But Richard Donner's like, no, do your thing.
Yes.
Which is even crazier because he loved him so much. But
yeah,
man, that's so crazy to me. You know what's a puzzle that got solved for me was when I was a kid, I never realized that the priest was the drunk priest who gave up the
that was a
story.
Revelation today.
I was like, whoa, that like connected it even better for me.
And it was such a throwaway line as he was like running away. It was like, wait, what did he just say?
He's like, I was the priest. And I was like, whoa, that was really cool. Yeah. So that was a puzzle that got solved. Any other puzzles you have?
Spoiler.
Well, we're in spoiler zone. We're fine.
It's okay. No.
All right. Last category. Redemption.
I have exorcised the demons.
Okay. This category was created to allow us to say good things in case we hated the film, so we don't end on a sour note. I only have one redemption, and whatever you liked about the film, and then we'll give our rating, and we'll wrap this one up.
Wrap it up. Put a bow on it.
According to Broderick, when he read the script, he thought it sounded like a great scene, meaning the scenes in the sewer. Little did he know at the time that Gaston bursts from the water actually meant Gaston bursts from the water for 2 hours straight. The reality of filmmaking is often slow and repetitive. In this case, poor Broderick spent hours fully submerged in the icy waters of the moat, only then to spend, because they filmed at the location in the moat, and it was cold.
Oh my goodness.
And he spent 2 days filming in the sequence of the sopping wet Gaston running through wintry landscapes. And when he had to get out of the ice.
That's right.
I don't care if even that was heated somehow, but the exterior, they were in snow and you could see their breath.
And you've got a freaking wolf climbing all over you.
Exactly. Like a real animal.
A real wolf I don't care how trained it is. You throw a wolf in the water and tug around on it for a while. It's not going to be happy.
No. I mean, so when you're watching it, if it looks freezing, it's because he was actually freezing.
Yeah.
Cold.
That's right.
And to me, like some of the other guests I have on the show, they think acting is silly, meaning actors themselves are like really pompous about what they do.
Yeah.
And his Taylor always mentions on the pod that he's like, I love it when they have to suffer for their craft. He's like, they should. They're getting paid a ton of money.
They get paid a lot of money. They spend some long hours for a few months doing, tedious, repetitive. They have to memorize a lot of things. I mean, it isn't, it's work.
Yeah.
Their
but I mean,
hourly wage is pretty good.
Yeah. Like if your 3 months salary is $750K in 1985 and you don't have to really work again the rest of the year, that sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome.
But yeah, it is not going to be super fun at all.
I'd do those things.
I would do those things as well.
Sounds like good times, actually.
Yeah, it would be cool to...
Right?
Yeah.
Have hawks flying, except for her. Had the hawks land on their arms.
Both of them.
Both of them. Mm-hmm. Carried the hawk around.
Sounds cool.
Sounds awesome.
And you get
Have you ever done that at the zoo? I've always wanted to be that guy where they let the hawk or the bird come fly to you.
Correct.
Never. All I've done is the little lorikeets where you give the little cup of like nectar and all these weird little parody bird, like little tiny birds come, the lorikeets, and they have their big long tongue and lick out of it. That's the only bird that's landed on my hand.
It's very specific and interesting. No, I've not had any aviary animal on my body.
Got to take the kids to the aviary and feed the lorikeets. And proceed. Recover from that.
That just blew my mind. Oh, I don't even know where to go next. I just think
redemption.
I think this is a awesome movie and it holds up. And even knowing like it's from the 80s, I think it's great.
Yeah. All of us know what it's like to sit down and think, I've got a little bit of time. Should we watch something? And you can't decide, especially if you're sitting down with a partner and you don't always have the exact same taste in material. Put this one on your list, find it, buy it, have it in the slot for when you're looking at Netflix for 40 minutes and can't decide on one. You say, let's pull out Ladyhawke.
Yeah.
This is, and you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, and you can watch this with anybody. Like people who don't really, I mean, it's got a love story. It's got comedy. It's got some good action. Not great fight scenes, but they're pretty cool and fun. And, more... not super gory. There people get stabbed and stuff, but it's not like it is now. And anyone can have a good time with it.
It was entertaining, and I'd watch it again.
I would too.
So, get it as a backup. You've got it. Friends come over. What should we watch? You watch Ladyhawke. Listen to the funky music. Watch the beautiful scenes. The pretty people. It's good times.
Yeah, dude. We were just talking about Matthew Broderick and him getting paid. I mean, he got to dance with Michelle Pfeiffer. Like,
he did. I wonder how many scenes that was. How long that took.
He probably was like, Richard, I just flubbed. I just hit her in the thigh.
I messed up.
She kind of tripped a little bit. We got to do that again.
Got to do it again.
Let's give our rating. I've been criticized by giving way too many golden buckets. Oh my gosh, it's so hard because. Do I give it a large bucket, which I think it deserves, but do I bump it up for nostalgia reasons? Do I give it a golden bucket because I like it from before and I like it still?
I think you'd regret not giving it that little extra squirt of butter.
I don't like the word squirt, but let's give it a golden bucket. I think I can. What would you give it?
Well, I'm going to stick with the 10 out of 10 type rating.
I like that. All guests have their own rating scale.
Only because I was thinking that it was underrated on the Rotten Tomatoes. And what was the other one?
IMDb rating 6.9, which is actually anything above a 7 is pretty great on IMDb. But yeah, on the Rotten Tomatoes score of a 65 from critics seems a little low.
It seems a little low for me because I was entertained when I saw it the first time as a kid. I was entertained when I saw it again later. We watched it a couple times with Mom because she liked it so much. I watched it again tonight and I was entertained. I enjoyed it a lot. I'd have to say I'm trying to decide if I go higher than an 8. But I'm pushing like that 7.97, just about an 8 for me.
I like that.
You know, I don't know that there are very few movies that I'd give a 10 to. And so this is, I enjoyed this more than I thought I was.
Yeah.
Right. I remember Mom loving it and remembering thinking, did I like it that much?
Yeah.
And we watched it tonight.
Heck yeah.
It was great. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
You know, it's funny in watching my 10-year-old son, like, you know, there were some slow parts and he kind of got a little fidgety, but like by the last, you know,
they wanted to know.
The last act, he was like, holy cow, he can't ring the bell. Oh no, he's got to stab him, hurry. You know,
both kids were,
and they were worried
engaged.
that the hawk was going to get stabbed by the priest.
That's right.
They were like, no,
they
he's
could
got to
see
find
that's
him.
coming. Once they saw the bell rope,
Oh no.
They were like, this can't be how it ends.
And then even leading up to that, my son was like, why don't you believe this guy about the eclipse, man? You got to believe him. What is your problem? You want to go in? You can't wait an extra day before you off this bishop?
Yeah.
Like, I liked the fact that he keyed onto that really, really easily, and it was very engaging for them. And it's a film from 1985. So.
Yep. So get it in your queue.
It's good.
Toss your shekels. As a reminder, shekels are coins.
That's money.
Become a member if you want to watch it from as a freebie for your membership. You can get access. Isn't that correct?
It is on PopFlix.
To your PopFlix. Find it, buy it, have it, enjoy it. You're welcome.
I agree. I wish I had the score. I think I'll just overlay it in post. I will.
There you go.
You're hearing the score right now. It's so sick.
That intro score.
Yeah. It is speaking of, on our way out while we're listening to this, seeing that weird montage at the first of the opening credits of it's like letterbox. It's like cut in slightly and it's like framed in, and you get to see these interesting shots of the sun and the sunset with the giant lettering of the people involved in the movie, and then the hawk before the movie
flying
starts.
A lot in slow motion.
Super. Yeah. It is a sight to behold. Thanks for joining us on this journey, this Ladyhawke journey.
Thanks for having me. Give us a hawk call as we go out. I don't know how to do a hawk call.
That's it for this week, but I'm with you always. Look for me in the cloud at Popcorn Priest. I'm not one of those priests that give away your love triangle. I am a good priest, and I love movies, and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Another way to support the show is by throwing a few shekels or dollars, money bills at the priest by visiting patreon.com/popcorn priest and see what extra perks you can enjoy. If you made it this far, go give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I command thee. As always, thanks again for listening, and thanks to my brother, my bro Chacho.
Yes, thank you, and good night.
Appreciate you joining on the show again. We'll have you again, hopefully, for Temple of Doom sometime. Remember, when you watch movies, you can pop off, pop in, or pop out, but always bring the popcorn.
I brought popcorn.
You did. You brought popcorn to the popcorn. Thank you very much. We'll see you at the movies.